1. Identity politics as a guilty belief. Dependency on external validation. Identity politics is a form of belief that requires validation through visibility and acceptance within larger groups. This belief is guilty in the way it avoids introspection or independent thought. It demands acknowledgement from others in order to exist, relying on social endorsement to provide a semblance of worth. Confidence built on exposure. For those who champion these ideas, their confidence is hollow, sustained not by internal reasoning or personal growth, but by the approval and attention of others. This confidence is fragile, as it is built on the foundation of external affirmation, not independent logic or understanding. 2. Mental immaturity and instability. Emotional dependence. The individuals engaged in identity politics often lack the mental stability to critically assess their ideologies. Their emotional dependence leads them to embrace causes that offer instant validation and attention, rather than reasoned beliefs rooted in objective truths. Psychological underdevelopment. This need for validation, often achieved through social media, performative actions, or group affiliations, signifies an inability to engage in critical thinking or understand reality on a deeper level. These individuals fail to build the cognitive resilience required to face life's challenges without relying on external, emotional crutches. 3. Leeches on their deathbeds. Parasites feeding on society support. These individuals are parasitic forces within society. They leech off the emotional and cultural resources of more stable or rational individuals, demanding attention and support without contributing any substantive value in return. Destructive entitlement. This parasitism is not limited to individual relationships, but extends to societal structures. They demand recognition or rights based on group identity rather than individual merit or rational discourse. This, in turn, undermines societal function, drawing resources away from critical issues that require actual change, progress, or innovation. 4. Stray animals endorsed by modern society. Endorsement of mediocrity. These individuals are stray animals, left to wander aimlessly because they exist in an environment that protects them from the consequences of their actions. This protection is the result of modern comforts and an education system that prioritizes emotional comfort over critical thinking. Absence of natural consequences. In a world increasingly disconnected from the harsh realities of survival, these individuals are shielded from the necessary consequences of their actions. Modernity has insulated them from the selection pressures that would normally force individuals to adapt or face irrelevance. Instead, they are allowed to persist in their ideological comfort zones, contributing little to societal progress. 5. Isolation as the path to extinction. The power of ignorance. To combat the influence of identity politics, ignore them. This isolation strips away the external reinforcement they require to maintain their fragile existence. When left unheard and unseen, these individuals cannot sustain their ideologies and are forced to confront the collapse of their emotional and ideological support systems. The weight of reality, as they are increasingly marginalized and left to grapple with the true nature of their ideologies, they will be forced to confront their own loneliness and the emptiness of the narratives they cling to. When their ideas fail to provide meaning, their way of life becomes extinct, like a cultural mutation that cannot survive in the evolving environment of human interaction. Natural selection. In the modern age, you see this as a form of modern natural selection, where emotional dependency and intellectual stagnation cannot sustain themselves. Over time, those who cannot adapt, those who insist on living within their ideological bubbles, will be gradually diminished by the forces of reality, which remain indifferent to their claims and demands. Conclusion: a societal reset. Identity politics, emotionalism, and censorship represent temporary, hollow constructs that will ultimately collapse under their own weight. Without critical thought or the ability to engage with reality beyond emotional validation, these ideologies will fade as their adherents are isolated and forced to confront the failure of their beliefs. This is a necessary societal reset, where only those who engage with reality and embrace logical, critical thought will endure, while emotional-driven movements will become relics of a failed attempt to escape the inevitable truth of human existence.